I'm Dale Smith for Looney Politics, and Danielle Smith has won the leadership of the UCP in Alberta without having a seat in the legislature. And I've been asked a number of times how our system allows this. And we do have conventions that allow for a first minister or other cabinet ministers to be appointed those positions without having a seat. Now, it can be a little easier for a cabinet minister because they can both do the functions or in some cases be appointed to the Senate and can perform their duties that way. But it's more common that if someone is appointed to cabinet or to first minister without having a seat, the convention is they try and find one as soon as possible. In Danielle Smith's case, she has already indicated writing that she will run in a by-election, and the MLA there has already resigned. So that's going to happen in fairly short order. But we have seen cases where that doesn't always go very well. In some cases, we've seen where, for example, a sitting premier, Christy Clark, lost her own seat in a general election and then had to run in a by-election. Another case was John Tory in Ontario, when he was the leader of the Progressive Conservatives. He lost his seat in Toronto during the general election. Rather, he didn't win the one he'd hoped for. And the party found another one for him in a safe riding outside of Toronto. And when he ran there in a by-election, he lost that as well because he was considered a parachute candidate, didn't have any connection to the riding, and someone local wound up winning because of that. So that's one of the challenges that Danielle Smith is going to face in trying to win this seat. There is this notion that it would be safer for her to run in a rural riding. However, she will also be in a riding against another party leader, in this case, the upstart Alberta party, and that party leader is a former mayor of the town she's running in. So it may not be as easy of a road for her, and we'll have to see, but that's kind of how that particular situation works. This is one of the things around having a leadership selection system that allows anyone to run and anyone to vote in it, as opposed to caucus selection. Caucus selection tends to mean that you've got someone who already has a seat to fill that position, and that has a lot of advantages in that regard, particularly that it's not someone coming in thinking that leadership is an entry position. There can also be quirks with that, however, and we've had two instances federally where we had a sitting prime minister who was a senator and not a member of the House of Commons in the period shortly after Sir John A. Macdonald died. So there can be some variation there as well, but these are some of the things that can happen with our current leadership system and how that can have its own particular problems. For Looney Politics, I'm Dale Smith.